Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. Man, what a build-up with this music. 813-90-BU-BBA, 813-90-BBA, or 813-90 Bubba, as Bubba likes to tell me to do it. Rhett is joining me.
Yes, hello, Lummy.
Is everything okay down there? I hear a little squeaky squeak.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. She's just whining. She's been trying to get outside for a little while. She saw the Merch Creek roll through.
Oh, is her girlfriend here?
Yes. Yeah, she saw the Merch Creek and Bella roll through.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
So she's just been unglued.
I mean, look, we've already had here starting off. You normally don't do, but woo-hoo. Grouper Lips, 20 on the Super Chat, and Big E 737-510, both Hall of Famers. Thank you so much.
That'll straighten her out if she didn't just
pee herself
piss everywhere. Yeah,
she did pee herself a little bit this morning.
Here she is. Hey, sweet girl. Hi.
Let's go 702
She's
with the phone line right now.
She's calm now.
Oh, you calm her down. 702.
Hey, how's it going, Lummy, Rhett, Las Vegas Mario?
What's up, Las Vegas Mario?
Hey, I had a question. Not really a question. Are you guys going to do something where, like, maybe you guys watch the games and, like, I know you guys talked about it one time about watching them and commenting on them. Are you guys going to do something like that? Like, I don't know, the Super Bowl or something where you get, well, maybe not the Super Bowl, but just kind of watch games and give us your analysis?
It just ended. Yeah, I mean, I've done it. I've done it myself a couple of times this year on locals. I've popped on there.
I'd like to do something like that. I mean, if we can make it more of a production, on locals, respectfully.
Oh yeah,
It's just streaming
something
from a
like
cell
that. Better than
phone. But
opening
if we could
stupid
do it in the
cards.
studio,
Oh,
put it
no,
up on
yeah.
the TVs,
I mean-
that would be fun if we could get a big group of people in
yeah,
there.
that would be a lot of fun. I mean, I just do it. I pop on there. Usually it's after the Bucks game. It's usually the 4:00 game. I take my cell phone out, put it on a little tripod, and just
I
kind
gotta
of
get locals in.
kind of sit and chat with the people, and then kind of give my breakdown on the game after.
Locals.
Or during too.
Cool.
Locals
Thank
is
you, fellas.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Las
man.
Vegas Mario.
Locals is worth it, by the way. I know Bubba doesn't really say much about it on the main show, but just for anyone curious, if you don't know, thebubbaarmy.locals.com. You can watch the Monday and any other exclusive podcast live as they are recorded. That includes 2 Live Jew on Thursday and Clem and Kush a couple times a week. The Uncensored podcast on Monday. There is a chat room. It's a cool deal.
And
So
as,
go check it out.
as Bubba says, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But it's what was the other thing? Oh, the 199s too.
Yes, the 199 replays. I mean, really anything that visually we talk about on the show or record that isn't available on YouTube is going to be on Locals.
561.
Hey, Lummy, Rhett. Hey,
What's
hey,
up?
West Palm.
Yeah.
Go Ravens. But
I figured that.
quick question for you. Quick question for you guys. When I was listening to the show a couple days ago, and Bubba kept on talking about the refs and first down or the down placement, the question I have, with all the technology we have and everything from AWS and the chips they can put in the football, why do they go to this old, 19 before technology stuff with the refs and the flat and the markers? Why don't they just computer chip it and everything's right there, like to the millimeter?
Well,
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it, Rhett.
I think it's the same reason we still got human umpires in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
As much as shitty as it is, I think the human element of officiating sometimes creates extra drama in sports, which ultimately leads to more entertainment. I know it can fuck up the game sometimes, but at the end of the day, it seems like a part of the game at this point.
Well, I think, yeah, but I think you still need officiating because you'd still need the refs obviously calling the penalties and those type of things. But I just think if they just did they just did the downs.
I could see it happening,
Right,
but it's just like baseball, and I think football is the same way. Maybe the UFL or they'll test it out somewhere else, just like baseball with the minor league system, in that they have the balls and strikes being called, or if it's what is it? Oh, if the batter challenges a pitch in the minors, they go to the computer and then they can change over the play. So maybe the NFL just needs to test it out. Maybe they've taken other things from the XFL from back in the day, so maybe they'll try it out. Maybe the UFL will try it out.
I think one of those advancements we're going to see here in the next 5-10 years is I don't know about the removal of the human chain crew, but definitely getting to the point where if they have to review the spot of a ball, they don't have to pull out the chain. They can just go look at
Oh, but I love that part, though.
the data. I know. They love to stretch it out. They'll give you a commercial break beforehand.
And then when they do it so
Remember that
slow.
one- Well, I was going to say, remember that one ref like a couple decades, like 10, 15 years ago, they actually pulled out like a card and they kind of notched it in between the ball and the chain.
Well, do you remember? Do you remember the Steve Spurrier one? When it was blatantly a first down, and they called it opposite way, and he just lost his mind. Steve Spurrier. No, nothing.
I just think.
I'm trying to pull it up now.
Well, no, I don't remember that one, but I just don't think. I mean, I think there's all these conspiracy theories about the NFL being rigged and this, that, and the thing, and I don't believe that because you can't predict if a guy is going to miss a field goal, like what happened in the Bills game. But I just think it would alleviate some of that conspiracy theory, even that Bubba was talking about the other day.
This is Spurrier right here? The video you're watching? This was in Tampa, too.
Yeah, from the Outback Bowl. You should check it out. Watch. It's
I'll have to take a look at it. I'm not on YouTube right now. I'll get ready to look at it here in a second.
Yeah, check it out. I don't think we're right here. Here comes the stretch, and it's super short. They call first down. I was opposite, but yes.
Oh,
Steve Spurrier jumps in, and like right here, they put it. What is that? Red about an inch? I know this is not the greatest.
Yeah.
It's about
barely the nose of the football.
But it's not even touching.
But it's not even
It's
close.
like a Steve Spurrier run up and everyone just loses their mind.
This is the Outback Bowl. I don't remember what year exactly, but it was the year that Jadeveon Clowney killed that guy in the backfield.
Oh, and it happened right after this.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it did. The very next play was when he just fucking decleated that dude. South Carolina, Michigan.
Yeah, right there, right, look at that. I know you guys can't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a clear like 2 inches.
The old ball coach just losing his mind right there. I mean, yeah. So yeah, check it out. Hang up on me. I thought usually that hangs up on him. Yeah, check that out. You'd see it. But that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old.
Oh
but
my God.
It's memories that I love.
No, I agree. There's a lot of decisive moments in games over the years where you can look back at decisions made by the officials one way or the other that are just super memorable. Like we wouldn't have had Bobby Knight throwing the chair across the fucking court.
And Colorado wouldn't have had that national championship they talk about with that fifth down.
Right.
I mean, how do you fuck that one up? Have you ever heard about that one?
The fifth down, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was clicking on Rumble too. But yeah, we're on Rumble right now, YouTube, Bubba Army, HQ, and Twitch.
I've never heard her cry this much.
And by the way, yeah, I keep hearing
that's our co-host.
I keep hearing this little whine. What, Babyface is here?
Yeah.
He's crying too.
That's what he sounds like. No, she's got a lot to say today, apparently.
But obviously we got big football games going on. Obviously our Baltimore fans are going to be happy about that. I mean, just jumping into the Baltimore, what do you think their chances of them making the Super Bowl, which then will go down to, which I'm hoping that Baltimore doesn't win, because then people are going to be like, oh, so the Super Bowl was rigged, especially if the 49ers win.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think Baltimore is right now the best team in the NFL?
I don't want to say yes, but I guess I have to say yes. A decisive playoff win. I know our boy's going to call in, and he's going to just let us know about it like he does every week.
Yeah, guys, I told you. And then he's going to make us feel like, we're just dog shit. But
I did say when we were talking about the AFC, I think it was like week 10 or 11, we were talking about which team was going to win the NFC and AFC. I ultimately thought Kansas City was going to be the team to beat at the end of it all. I know they kind of sputtered out the end of the regular season there, didn't end up as the 1 seed. But not as flashy. But
if they show up,
if Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce are playing, then and they're playing well, it's going to be a long game. Like I'm a professional hater of a lot of players in the league, but Pat Mahomes gets it done.
Now, who do you want? I mean, between these two, who do you want to see in the Super Bowl?
I would like to see Kansas City, Detroit. I would like to see Detroit make it. I'd like to see Detroit win the whole damn thing.
I would too.
I don't want to see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson win anything. I'd love to see him, unfortunately,
blow his knee out.
Yeah, it'd be really unfortunate if he were to tear both Achilles on the opening kickoff or something. It'd be really awful.
Or just even in practice.
Yeah, it'd be awful. It'd be a real tragedy. He's worked so hard all year.
He's only played 3 games?
I don't know, man.
I think he's only played 3 games this year.
He's the only player on the Lions roster that makes them unlikable, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
He was talking shit to Baker after the interception, the one that he got on a tip drill.
Yeah, that he flipped
because Mike Evans dropped it.
Yeah.
Ball goes up in the air. He jumps up and grabs it.
Which I mean, that's
he's been like that on every team. He was like that when he played with New Orleans, and
well, it's what we've said before.
He was like that when he played with Philly.
Well, it's like what we said before on New Orleans is that they're just a dog shit.
Yeah, from top to bottom, we knew that. We knew that.
I mean,
what the fuck? All right, hold on. This is gonna drive me crazy. I know this is gonna drive some listeners crazy. Can you hear it on the microphone?
I have no idea, but I can hear it in my headphones.
So I have to imagine somebody can hear it.
Oh, I'm sure, but I have not seen it in chat. Unfortunately, too, I can't see my Rumble chat for some reason. But I mean, so there's why do you still think that the NFL is rigged from the Bird Emanuel no catch gimmick? Yeah, but then they changed the rules the next year. I mean, the good thing is that they at least change the rules after they have things like that. Now it has happened to the Bucs twice where they have changed the rules. I think the other one was with the when the Bucs were in it and they had Sims at their quarterback against the Washington at the time Redskins. They changed the rule. I forgot what it was. It was either 2 feet in, and the ball was moving around, but It was something similar. So 2 times the Bucks have had a rule change in their favor that have cost us a playoff game, but the Bucks definitely would have, if they beat the Rams with the Bert Emanuel thing, would have dominated in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they would have
dog
dog-walked Tennessee.
The Tennessee, that's the year it was, not the New England one.
It was the 1 yard short.
The Buccaneers defense in '99 was just absolutely rolling. They were the best.
You had
Sap
Sap won Defensive Player of the Year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were rolling for sure.
Derek Brooks was doing. We had a stacked team, but we'll get to this. We'll focus on this year, which I'm surprised he hasn't called in because you know what's crazy about now with having the Hard Rock gambling site.
What's that?
You know the guy that calls up Henstar Donald. That he calls up. He's now a Bucks fan.
Yeah, big Bucks fan.
Big tennis superstar. Went to his big Ivy League Division I schools with a tennis scholarship. His hoity-toity stuff. He was telling me that he wins all his money on betting the Australian Open.
Yeah, tennis is good money.
Is it?
Hockey is good money.
Oh, great. Well, guess what?
And you know what? I was going to tell you about this, too. PGA has been fucking awesome for me.
Well, I'm glad
week.
that I'm finding out this the wrong way because guess what? He enticed me to do because he's a pro.
Well, you used to check in with me. We used to, meet up and talk about our bets every day, but now we don't. So you stopped asking. And
I didn't think we were actually doing that anymore.
What, betting?
Well, hold on. Do you really want me to call you and be like, "Hey, I got a hot tip on a tennis, a 5-bet parlay"?
No, but shoot me a text. Be like, "Hey, I'm playing this today.
Oh, okay.
If you want to get on it?"
Well, I've only
because I usually do that with you and Brian from Philly. If I'm going to be making a play and I have a decent amount of money on it, I'll send you a text and let you know.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if you feel like,
Well, I'll do that. I didn't know that you wanted to hear my inside Iggy on tennis, which you should be happy about. Because my story is that this guy, Hinstar, has talked me up so much about how he's a pro at, picking. He makes all his money on the Australian Open. I've tailgated with him twice this year. He's talked it up. He signed up for Hard Rock. He sends it over to me. I'm like, it's a 6-player parlay.
And it fucking hit, didn't it?
It sure did not hit. It didn't hit.
Oh, it did not?
No, I think 2 of the favorites even lost in the day. He's like, I don't know what's going on. Usually, the favorites don't hit.
What were you betting on? Wins, rounds won, games played?
Just wins.
Okay.
It was the first round wins.
I've noticed the most consistent is games played. If you can find a line that's like around 18, 19, 20.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Seems like you know more about tennis than this guy does. And he's a tennis pro. Now, I would have to say that I agree with you on the hockey. That now that football is kind of over, I'm going to look into that. Plus, you know what I've been doing too, and I hate the NBA, and I refuse to watch it, is the NBA going in the second half and taking live bets.
What, for what, points and shit?
Brian from Philly, $20. Yeah, super chat.
He got a job. Did he tell you, real quick, this is just what he said in his super chat. Did he tell you what he's doing for work now?
No.
He's a bud tender.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a legalized drug dealer.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Brian from Philly, $20. That means you're going to be scooping up some more for so we all can get back in our triplet text that we were in and making some more bets. And also, another thing that I've been liking, which I'm now going to start doing it more and watching it so we get closer to the March Madness, is NCAA basketball. Yeah. I will watch that basketball. I refuse to watch the NBA.
I've heard a theory about NCAA college basketball, specifically women's college basketball. I've heard there's a lot of money to be made in just looking at the board and taking all the unders.
All the unders?
Just taking unders.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Hold on. You know what, Rhett? That actually is a perfect thing. If you can find,
10.5 points and it's not the best player on the team, chances are they're only going to get like 5 to 7.
Oh, I thought you meant the overall score, the over and under. Because I was going to tell you.
Too.
I was going to tell you that's one. I cannot watch women's.
For props.
Oh, I cannot watch women's college basketball because of that.
Yeah, for props or really over under game score, you're going to be good taking the under.
And, I got to say, because we didn't have the sports show, on Thursday or Friday, but a big win, and I know it's local, but it's a big win for my bank account. The USF men's basketball team beat, at the time, number 10 Memphis.
It's the first time they beat a top 10 team in like 10 years.
Yeah, it was a hell of a game. Came down. They were down by like 22. I took 20. I took the live bet at 21.5 at halftime.
They're 4-1. They got a new ball coach too, right?
Yeah, he came over from
Clemson.
No, Kennesaw State or something like that. But he
Oh.
brought over like half the team with him, and they went 26-8 last year. I think he
Nice.
brought 4 starters over. They got this big, goofy white kid that looks like the Bird. You know what I'm talking about? The
Birdman?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Birdman. He has his dyed blonde hair. He's from Chicago, right
Is that
here.
him?
Yeah, he's been playing.
Birdman Light.
But yeah, we've been going to we've only been to one game, but it was exciting. He just looks so goofy, but he's been like just absolutely dominating.
They were down 20 at the half, and they
Yeah.
won.
And I took that 20-point that 20-point spread.
Did you really?
Yeah, live bet. I love live bets. Well, sometimes they really fuck you hard
Yeah.
because you then double up, and you just get fucked. 413.
Lummy and Rhett, it's Joe the Supermarket.
Hey, what's up, Joe the Supermarket?
Hey, I was just calling in regards to a call that I had made to your show. It was the first call I ever made to you guys' show.
Yeah.
And I was talking about football and sports in general being a work. And
Yeah.
now that Bubba said it on Monday, you guys co-signing with me in full, or are we still holding back a little bit?
I'm still holding back on it. I don't believe I don't think it's all set up. I mean, this stupid meme that keeps going around that, the Vancouver Island news, uncovered it, and it's making all these people just lose their mind that they predicted or they got the script. I mean, come on, the Vancouver fucking Island news. Give me a break, but I don't think it's set up. I really don't. I just can't imagine. Just like the moon landing, I can't imagine that it's not real. That they're scripting all this shit.
Now, something that I've lived over the past 20 years on the Bubba Loves Fun show is I found out that reality is better than fiction all day. So in talking to Bubba and having conversations, just telling the truth when he asks a question, instead of trying to play it up for radio, I found that that's so much better, just being real.
Exactly.
But on the same token, in professional wrestling, where in the 70s it was still kind of like not a work, and then it became a work, and now it's completely a work. We all agree that, right? Can you
Well, I
believe
hope
that
so.
sports will take that eventually? I mean, like, look, I was saying before, when you have all the monies into advertising, the billions, I was going to say millions of dollars, but billions of dollars in advertising, you're not going to leave that to chance. They're going to make moves. They're going to do what's best for business. And if it's putting together the two teams that the nation wants to see at that given time, then there's nothing that anybody's going to do. No bets are going to change it. No thoughts are going to change it. No talking about nothing's going to change it. Does that make any sense?
Kind of, but it makes so much money. I don't see it. I don't see that ever happening.
What
I just
do you
don't.
say, Rhett?
I don't know. I think at this point, with any sport, there's certain things that you can't exactly plan for or account for or plan into a work per se. I don't think it's in the script for some of these guys to go out there and tear their ACLs every year. Or
No. And that's why mistakes happen in wrestling too. And you have accidents and you have injuries in wrestling too. Even though it's a work, people still get hurt. So I don't believe that every single move of everything is a work, but I also believe that you can say, okay, here's where we need to get to, guys. So let's slow play it like they did with that game this weekend when the whole up to the half was like 7-6. Remember, was that the Packers game? I don't watch any football, but I just remember.
Yeah. Oh. Grouper Lips $20 super chat. Snipe and
we do have a discounted snipe credit here on the sports show. We kind of forget that.
Well, it's only when they requested and Grouper Lips said snipe. I mean, we did. I think back in the day it was when Hinstar would call all the time and Grouper Lips didn't like Hinstar calling, and they asked how much to snipe, and I said, well, we're not $100 show. I'm not going to make So I said $20 if you want to snipe. I mean, so thank you, Joe. But I mean, what he was saying, I honestly I can't wrap my head around that it is a fixed. I mean,
well, I don't know about 100% fixed or predetermined, but do you believe that the presence of sports betting, especially the last 10 years, has started to influence certain things about the game?
Yes, I do. I really think that, but I don't think it's scripted. I mean, I think. Maybe I don't even say like football. I really could, and I know there's been it came out with Tim Donovan that Bubba's had on twice. With the refs getting involved,
right, and
keeping it close.
Especially nowadays in the NFL. I mean, they determined the fucking Super Bowl last year in the last 2 minutes of that game.
That's true.
That was gonna be an all-time finish to what was at the time an all-time great game, but now everyone's going to remember the finish, and they're going to remember that no call.
Yeah.
And they're going to remember basically the officials handing Kansas City the game after pretty much letting them play for 3.5 quarters beforehand.
Now, see, do you think that comes down to like the NFL telling the refs, "Hey, let's lock it down," or do you think it's the refs in their own like professional mindset of, "We're gonna let these guys play, but listen, when it comes down to the last couple minutes, we gotta kind of be a little tighter on some of the calls."
I don't want to believe there's any referees. I don't want to say any, but I don't want to believe that most referees are malicious in their intentions, when calling the game. Like maybe the NBA, it's a different story because you've had that scandal before. And maybe in 20 years, we're going to get a fucking documentary about some referee bullshittery happening right now in the NFL that we just don't know about. But I want to believe that they just try and uphold the integrity of the game in the most crucial moments. But it really what it translates to is like the fucking referees making it about them at some of the most important times of the game.
Like let's talk about the Lions and Cowboys game with the offensive.
The offensive. Did you see? So when they brought in that extra lineman against the Bucks, he ran up to the referee and told him about 8 times.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm checking in as eligible. I just want to make sure you know that I'm eligible for this play.
But how does that play up in the whole script of things? Did they not want the Cowboys to? I mean, like, how did they not want the Cowboys to travel to Tampa because they thought it was a better matchup for the Cowboys to lose? You know what I mean? Like, or the Eagles to lose? Did they think that they didn't want any NFC East teams to make it out of the first round? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how that how that helps the script, because you think about it, the Cowboys lose the game, they come to Tampa, right? Isn't that how it was going to be? And then the Eagles, even if they lost, they were still going to be the home team. It would be switch swapped.
Yeah, so the Bucs would have played Dallas.
So, but how does that help the script? I mean, did they think that Dallas was a better matchup against the Bucs compared to the Eagles? Who did the Packers? Like,
fuck if I know, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is making my head
And
hurt.
who doesn't want the NFC East team to be in there? Who doesn't want the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Everybody. Fuck those teams and their fans.
Especially the Eagle fans, which
Telling
didn't show up. Besides Brian from Philly, who, by the way,
yeah, that's true. Brian from Philly's a real motherfucker, but the 99.9% aside from him.
Are we not on Bubba Army HQ?
Maybe it didn't get switched over.
Oh no, it should have. It ran all the whole script and everything.
Let me see. Right here, I'm looking at. This is the AM, right? Does it run off of the AM?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Is Macho still here? I mean, we don't want.
No, that's his car. He just started it 2 seconds ago. Did you hear it?
Yes. Well, crap. Let me. We are checking on that. I mean, right now.
Do you know how to switch it over?
Well, if Macho's still here, we should text him.
I'm pretty sure it's just that button console in the same spot that it was before in the rack room. You just walk in and you hit boop, and it changes over to what this should be on.
I mean, yeah, technically it's running.
Because we don't run the recast. We do run the recast for this show.
Yes,
so
we do.
We should be running the recast for this show, which should be already playing through the board, which means we can just go and boop it on over.
Let's see, I'm going to hit play.
And it's going to be playing probably the fucking morning show.
It's the annual Winter Nationals.
Yeah, the fucking Winter Nationals. Are you going, by the way, to that?
I'm going to try to. Take Walker, too.
Captain Ron backed me into a corner at Barp, so now I'm going to go camping
Well,
up
shit,
there.
we're not on there. We're losing all our above our HQ.
Oh, no.
Shit. Let me call, I'm going to call Macho.
Call the man himself. But it...
Before he leaves. But I don't know if it's in the button, if it's something that has to go with the next shit. I know, but, I mean, it's playing the... I mean, listen... Obviously, if you're local or not even local in Ocala, I mean, if you guys are listening, you guys should go to the Winter Nationals. I mean, it's absolutely an unbelievable time. I went, tried to go one year and it rained out. So
yeah, that was last year. I was there too.
Was that last year?
Mm-hmm.
I brought Walker.
Yeah.
God, he looks tired. A little kid in my picture. Hey, we're not on Bubba Army HQ right now.
Yeah, you are.
I saw it was on here. Okay.
They must not be logged in.
Oh, okay.
I'll come back in and double check. I just left. I'm pretty sure you
No, we are now. Okay, yeah, it's playing now. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are above Army HQ. Okay, well, you know what, Donald Golder? You know what? This was not. Now we're a technical show. Listen, if you don't log into your Bubba Army HQ account, then you're just going to be listening to the replay of the morning show.
Just completely derailed the fucking show there.
Well, listen, Bubba Army HQ is our baby, and we have to tend to it. So, even if it's one person in chat saying that we're not on Bubba Army HQ, we got to check on it.
You are correct. We do put a lot of time and love and.
Oh, he's still on the phone.
I
didn't hang up on him.
Dedication.
Well, listen. that's.
Well, let's just have him on the show. Fuck it. I want to hear what he thinks about the NFL being rigged.
He's all talking about the weather. Which that's another thing you can't even talk about the rigging because you got the weather, so you can never have like a proper rigging system because if it comes down to a field goal, and that 25 miles an hour wind kicks up.
Yeah, I don't know if the script had Tyler Bass missing that kick.
You know what? That's true.
I don't know.
I think they really wanted Buffalo to win. You think that's why they were so upset about it?
I would have liked to see that game go into overtime.
I would have too.
Really, I would have liked to see Pat Mahomes with the ball in his hand for, what was it, like 28 seconds left?
Oh, yeah. That would have been exciting.
Yeah, because he's done it before. Do it again on the road. But
I'm listening. Now I'm getting texts.
No, you're paranoid?
No, we're getting texts that we are on Bubba Army HQ.
Yeah, so for any... The Bubba Army HQ customer service line, friendly reminder, make sure you're logged in. If you have a Bubba Army HQ account, log in so you can listen to Bubba Army Radio, because if you are not logged in, you're going to be listening to the BTLS feed, which is different than the Bubba Army Radio feed. The BTLS feed is what we send out to, I believe, TuneIn.
Yes.
And that is a 24/7 replay of the morning show from that day. It updates every day. It's the most recent morning show. It's probably the most direct way to listen to the morning show for free. But if you have an account, log in so you can listen to the Bubba Army Radio feed, which has live content, different replays, different segments, and all that good shit.
Thank you, Rhett.
Yeah.
Bubba Army HQ help desk right there, here on the Lummy Sports Show. Which anybody that is currently not logged in did not hear that little feed. Which maybe we should bring up to Bubba and have him maybe talk about it. What do you
Just
think?
remind people to log in?
Yeah, like log in. That's why people may be complaining. Because I look at the help desk, help chat, and some people that sometimes that's the problem they're having. But maybe if they're hearing it before.
I hope we get some Bubba Army HQ calls on Freaky Phone Friday.
Oh, me too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, this is Wacky Wednesday phone calls here on the sports show. 813-90.
The wacky wire Wednesdays.
The wacky wire Wednesday. Call us. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten our calls from, a little purple jersey. Who
I'm waiting on our UFL representative.
That's true too. He might be jerking off right now to his own videotape of that 45-minute ride that he gave. So.
Wore her out. He said
he wore her out.
He said he wore her out. He wore her out because she was picking him up and throwing him around for 45 minutes like he was a fucking tire.
Yeah, that probably would probably be a little wear out there.
It's like a CrossFit class.
He's not the lightest gentleman.
Respectfully.
So, did you see on Todd Bowles? Obviously, we're big Bucks fans here, and there's no point to go through our picks, by the way, because we went 3-1.
Thank you.
So, I'm pretty sure that's what we did.
We did.
Yeah.
We would have,
Realistically, we would have went undefeated if
we weren't such big Bucks fans.
Yeah, exactly. If we just would have stuck to the script and went to the Lions. But did you see that Todd Bowles pretty much said that the reason why, and as people probably heard, if he would have taken that timeout, forced the Lions to kick a field goal, obviously if they would have missed it, we would have had time to go down and try to score in 30 seconds, 25 seconds?
I think it was 36 seconds were left on the clock. They had one timeout left. I'm going to be honest with you. This whole argument is so asinine.
It is.
Because the players are not upset about it. The coach is not upset about it. And let's be honest. The game was fundamentally over when Baker Mayfield threw that interception.
Correct. In my opinion, the game was fundamentally over when they went for two. And then they didn't get that call.
Like I understand all the fucking statistic nerds are gonna be like, oh, but the math says if you go for two and you get it, you don't have to do it later. You don't have to you kick the extra point, win the game. Sure, if you want to win the game right then and there, But the Bucks, with as close as that game had been, and a couple times in the first half, Todd Bowles not wanting to go for it on 4th and a foot.
Yep.
The Bucks took the points. They made business decisions.
And that's what I think you should play, especially
that's how
in a
you should play.
playoff
Yeah,
game.
you should have played for overtime. You should have played for the points, and you should have trusted your defense to go out there.
I think
they got the stop, and then you got the pick afterwards. I think this whole argument is kind of ridiculous. It feels.
What I don't like about them going for 2 is, one, as the statistics were coming from cocksucker Collinsworth, who's a fucking douchebag in my opinion. 50. If you look at the math, like you said, 55% chance. Blah blah blah. It's like. What's going to happen is it's really a 50-50 shot. One, you're going to get it, okay? But you have the momentum with your touchdown, and if you kick a field goal, you still kind of take the crowd out. Your defense is up. Hey, one stop. We're back. We're going to tie the game up. Now, you fucking don't make the 2-point conversion. The crowd's behind it. The Lions are fucking pumped. Their defense is pumped. Your fucking defense is going, oh, fuck. Like, we have to fucking do something. We have to make some kind of play. We're going to have to change your whole game plan. The crowd's into it. Oh, and now your offense is going to be fucking totally changed with, we got to score quick because we got to get 2. And if we don't get the 2 on the next one, then we're going to have to go for an onside kick. Like, it fucks up the whole thing where if you just go to it with the 7 points, I feel like the Lions are kind of now, they're not going to they don't want to really run the clock out. They're feeling good. Because the chances that they're going to take so much time on the clock because they're like, what's the chances, again, that they're going to march down the field and have to get a 2-point conversion where if, you give Baker maybe 2 minutes and all we got to do is get a field goal. I feel like it changes the whole entire aspect of that game. And right then and there, when they did not get that call, which I think was pass interference, maybe I could be wrong.
You're talking about on Mike Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking bullshit. I don't know what universe that wasn't defensive pass interference. But I will say there were a lot of no calls in that game.
There was.
2.
Yep.
And it seems like the inconsistency with the officiating is unfortunate because you'll have these guys that let them play for 80-85% of the game. And then on some of the most crucial plays, they decide to throw the flag. Or, they just hold it. It's inconsistent. If you're going to call the game, call it one way.
Because I'm sure you heard it. Chris Collinsworth, what I don't want to say what really feel about him. His little fucking, I don't know how the Bucks get away. They've had almost pass interference about all these times. It's like, it's literally them. They were trying to call out the Bucks and all that other bullshit. Like, Collinsworth is such a fucking hater.
Yeah, he was calling that game like Detroit had it in the bag for 3 quarters.
Oh, I didn't know that was his kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That guy's such a nerd.
Yeah, he'll be around for a while, too. He's 28. So, yeah, at least on TV for another 30, 40 years, unfortunately.
Awesome. I can't wait to listen to that. 641. I did not know that was his kid.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm doing my CrossFit right now.
Hell yeah.
You're doing your what?
CrossFit.
I thought he said crossword. I thought he was doing a crossword puzzle.
I didn't do crosswords.
I did no shit.
Me trying to fill out the little squares. It'd be all over the place.
That's why I thought it was weird that you're doing a CrossFit. I was like, how the fuck does he write down this little shit? What's up, Brandon?
Not much, and I did look up the they don't even have the schedule out for the United Football League. Yeah, but did you see where the Rock's on the TKO board now? So do you think that's gonna put some stuff on Netflix about the football league?
What? Because the Rock's with the WWE board? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So the Rock's a part of the TKO board.
Yeah.
Who is the big company that owns UFC, WWE, Endeavor. And he's also one of the owners of the UFL. So Brandon is asking if you think that connection with TKO will lead to an easier broadcasting deal on something like Netflix. I personally don't think so.
I don't either.
I think the reason Netflix is stepping out with the WWE is because that's a proven product that's going to pull in a lot of ratings.
UFL.
$500 million a year, that's crazy.
The UFL has to prove themselves with ABC, ESPN, Fox. I mean, they did a good enough job by getting those broadcasting rights with them.
I think if they were going to dive a little more into live broadcasting and they were going to do it with the football, then they can't do it with anyone else but the NFL at this point. Like, if people want, I think, to take them seriously in the realm of live sports, which is something they want to do more of this year, then, it's going to be the NFL. Because, like, look at what Peacock's doing. Paramount Plus, they've all got exclusivity deals where once a week you'll have a fucking random game on there. They've been doing it for the playoffs.
I mean, if the Netflix was smart, too. Because you're getting the
And the
Nickelodeon
deal, I've never watched one of those games, but I heard it's a pretty big deal for the little kids.
It does well.
It actually was pretty interesting. I watched it.
Did you like it, Lummy?
Hold on, yeah, on the replay. I didn't know they had it during the real game.
You thought it was interesting.
No, when they had the Toy Story thing.
The Toy Story one was dope.
That's what I was saying. I didn't know they had it live, but they had a replay of it, and I was watching it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is actually pretty badass."
That was a Disney Plus thing, but they also have a Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They also have a Nickelodeon broadcast, which they're going to be doing a Super Bowl Nickelodeon broadcast as well.
Is that where they slime people?
Yeah, they'll fucking slime players. Patrick Starr will come out and take a carry on first down.
I'm gonna tell you something. That Disney one was pretty badass.
Yeah, it was a little glitchy at times, but I mean, for the technology, like, it is pretty insane that this is what we're putting out.
And we had our boy Booger McFarlane.
And that's probably just done on a computer, don't you think?
Yeah, totally see it. Did he already say it?
No.
Yeah, so
I didn't either.
So the NFL's making lots of money on everything.
Well, I think Netflix should almost get involved at the maybe college football.
That would be cool.
Picking up maybe a couple of those conferences. I mean, it really sucks for the average person that would have to go out and buy fucking Netflix. But I think the NFL has already spread so far that if Netflix wanted to, they could jump in. With one of those conferences and take them away, or even sign a couple of free schools.
And I don't know if you guys read into this, but they said even since Raw's going to be on Netflix now, if you have where you don't get any commercials, you're going to be able to watch all the boring headlocks during all the commercials. So they're going to be able to rest during the commercial breaks, and you'll be able to watch all that.
Nice.
I don't know what he said either.
So that's going to be pretty cool. But
my Brandon the quad video
awesome.
ears off. My Brandon the quad ears off today, Brandon.
It's been a long week.
Huh?
I said my Brandon the quad ear is off. Usually I can hear you pretty. Have you jerked off recently?
I didn't have time in between shows because it was only 15 minutes. Usually I'm a long guy. I'm about half an hour.
That's exactly what it is then.
An hour?
Yeah. What?
Well, I gotta find I gotta find the right video, and I gotta make sure I close my doors, even though the doors are locked. I don't want any neighbors coming in because that's happened before.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You had a neighbor walk into you while you were jerking off?
Yeah, but thank God I don't take down my pants.
Oh.
Do you wear headphones, or you just let that bitch play through the speakers?
I just let that bitch play through my surround sound.
Oh, you have surround sound.
You just crank that shit up.
You really get into the fucking the mood.
Yeah, the trailer wall shaking.
We need it, Brandon. You know what? You need to get. You need to get one of those little fucking 3D goggle things.
The VRs.
The VRs.
Yeah, get a VR headset.
Yeah. I've never experienced one, but I'm sure you'd probably never call ever again.
But then I get so excited the cover would let the goggles off right when I'm getting ready to burst and break the goggle. They go flinging across the room.
See, that's what your mom should get you for your. When's your birthday?
October 12th.
Oh, fuck.
You got a ways to go.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, pal.
I was gonna say let's get you earlier than Christmas, but I was gonna say maybe you should go to the casino, when you hit one of the big slots, or you know what, maybe up your bets from your quarters to maybe $1, and save up your money for one of those VR goggles.
Yeah, but I'm scared of those things because what if I get into the wrong kind of porn and it kind of scares the hell out of me?
Let's take them off.
They're not going to get you as long as you take the headset off.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
make sure you can get them off your face.
it takes 2 hands though, and I only use one.
Oh.
Wow.
But I
You
think
just gotta watch what you click, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
it's just
shit.
like a computer
Yeah.
computer virus. You know, you got to be smart.
He gets into a lemon party fucking. He gets stuck on lemon party.
no, actually, the first one I ever got into was somebody told me to do meat spin, and that wasn't a good idea.
Fucking meat spin.
Brandon was hitting all-time records. He couldn't get the fucking VR thing off. Sitting there for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
All right, Brandon. Well, listen. Why don't you hang up here, listen to the rest of the show, and then jerk off a couple times.
sounds good to me. Thanks, guys.
See you, Brandon.
Man, surround sound porn is insane.
I should ask him how many speakers he has.
Just letting that bitch ride. That's probably why the neighbor came over. He wanted to check on him.
He probably was like, "Holy shit, Brandon the Quad's having a fucking orgy in
It's
there."
like Brandon's killing that shit.
Oh, Daddy, lay that pipe down. Oh man, Brandon. When does UFL starts?
I think like March or April.
Are you excited for it?
Not really. If I had a team to root for, I would be. But this is the iteration of spring football. This is like the 4th iteration of spring football in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't. I don't have any emotional investment, and that's what's going to stop me from watching it. Like, I'm sure I'll watch it if it's on, but if there's no other sports on and I'm sitting on the couch and the only thing on is UFL, then I'm probably just going to fucking play PlayStation.
I'm probably gonna figure something to go outside and do with my
Right?
kid.
Yeah, go find something productive to do.
Wow, I can't believe Skip Holtz is a coach there.
Bob Stoops,
Former USF. Mike Nolan. I mean, they got decent
Anthony
names.
Becht, Bucks legend,
Oh, that's right.
coaching He was the coach of St. Louis last year too.
Yeah, he was on.
They won the whole thing.
Did they? He was on the show one time.
If I'm not mistaken, if they didn't win the whole thing, then I know that 1 year they had AJ McCarron and he was the MVP. Ended up getting signed
By the Bengals, or was he not on the Bengals anymore?
I thought it was Seattle. Maybe I'm probably wrong. I don't know. I'm not a big AJ McCarron.
Yeah,
mark.
neither am I. I mean, a lot of those Alabama quarterbacks really don't do it for me.
March 30th is the kickoff date, by the way, for UFL.
Oh, I can't
And
wait.
Just to put a
And
cap
baseball.
on the Bucks, they did play well. I thought, the mistakes that they made that lost them that game are the same mistakes that has lost them games all year. We've said time and time again, if you don't play clean football or early interception, if you lose the turnover differential, if you miss a fucking field goal and leave points out on the field, you're going to lose against better teams.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the postseason. Like, you could get away with that stuff against the Jaguars when you were beating them 30-0. You could get away with it against Tennessee. You could get away with it against Atlanta. You couldn't get away with it against the Lions. And other than that, I do think Bowles deserves to come back for another year. Baker definitely deserves to come back for another year.
Mm-hmm.
If the Panthers don't end up hiring Canales, which I hope they don't,
I hope so too.
I would like to see improvement. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's unrealistic to expect Todd Bowles to improve. Because when you think about this being a first-year offensive coordinator, first-year QB in the system, first-year play caller, which Canales also is,
It's going to really fuck up the future with having a Baker and the rest of another offensive coordinator bringing their shit in.
yeah, with all the hurdles they had to get through to win games this year, a lot of things went well. So it's going to be easier next year if they can re-sign their guys and they can stay. Mostly the same. Probably some moving around on the interior offensive line. Probably some moving around on the defensive line. Hopefully they draft a stud, whether it's a wide receiver or an outside linebacker. You got to get a pass rusher. I don't care if it's in free agency or in the drafts, but they need a franchise pass rusher because Shaq Barrett's probably gone.
You need some interior alignment too.
Yeah, you need some help. Vita Vea's good. Kalijah Cansey's going to be really good, but they can't do it themselves. Like Greg Gaines was non-existent this year. The other big white guy that they fucking signed, I can't remember his name. Mike Green, I think. He wasn't great this year. Logan Hall took a little bit of a developmental leap, but leap is an overstatement, to be honest with you. That's being generous.
I think KJ Britt stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, he took Devin White's job. You know, Devin White only played 14 snaps out of the 70 defensive snaps that were played in Detroit, and I think that relationship is kind of tarnished. KJ Britt's going to be just fine as long as Levante David comes back, and if Levante David doesn't come back, well, then you probably are going to have a hole at linebacker, but it's nothing that you can't address in either free agency or the draft. So I think they'll be just fine. I am glad that they made it as far as they did. I predicted 7 wins for the Bucs this year. I thought for them to win 8 or 9, a lot of things were going to have to go right, and a lot of things did go right for them.
I'm not gonna, because that's gonna take me work to go home and find it and look at my notes.
Oh, you're good.
But I did predict 9-8.
I predicted 7-10.
I said they had 9-8, and I said they would win the division.
I thought they would get second in the division. I thought they'd go 7-10, barely miss the playoffs. But
I think I'm the only person that predicted that.
I mean, the national media predicted them to be the second worst team in the fucking league.
100%.
You know, a lot of people had them mocking Caleb Williams in the fucking draft as a top 5 pick to Tampa Bay. And the fact that Baker came here, played statistically one of the best seasons of his career. Mike Evans needed to have a big year. He had statistically one of the better years of his career. Rashad White needed to step up. And while he's not quite there as like a 3-down running back, he definitely became a much bigger piece in this offense, and he showed that he can take over games.
Oh, huge! He was huge, and the development of him was huge this year.
Yeah,
and especially if they can get they bring back a lot of their linemen. They get maybe 1 or 2. I'd say they pick up 1 in the free agency. Either he starts or at least has a good solid backup, because there's always injuries on the offensive line these days.
Yeah, I think they'd like to move Hainsey to a guard spot if he can win that job. I mean, this is probably a little too early to tell, but he's a natural guard. He's not a center.
Yeah.
I think they want to get another center, maybe in free agency, or they just draft one. But
I would like for them to be the draft one. And am I missing something here? Joe Pawlowski said, who's going to be the Jags' new head coach? Doug Peterson's still the coach.
They fired their defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I was like, well,
so I don't know. I have no idea who their new D coordinator is going to be.
Which, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they want to bring in Joe Barry. He's hanging out there. I mean, I know that you love Joe Barry, probably from his time in Tampa. I mean, he was a really good linebackers coach.
All right.
But, I mean, sad news for Joe Barry and family, being let go today from the Green Bay Packers. I know you and Bubba were big fans of his.
He'll be okay.
I was a big fan of his dad.
He'll be just fine.
His stepdad. No, his father-in-law.
Who's his father-in-law?
Rob Marinucci. What's his... the old Bucks defensive line coach forever. Rod Marinelli.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Remember him?
No.
Led the Detroit Lions to 0-16 season.
Oh, shit. As their head coach.
Yes, Rod Marinelli. Yes. He was the defensive coordinator at that time.
Yes.
Then Rod Marinelli went on to coach with the Cowboys and Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, he was on Dungy's staff and Gruden's staff.
Correct, yeah. No, I liked Rod Marinelli. Joe Barry hitched his ride to that wagon, and looks like I didn't know he coached at all these different places, though.
He came back to Tampa in 2009, go down.
And then USC.
Rehired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as their linebackers coach under D coordinator Jim Bates and head coach Raheem Morris.
Where the fuck did he get his... Oh, he played linebacker at Michigan. Really? Oh, then he transferred to USC. Did not know that. Well, good luck to good old Joe Barry. I know Bubba did not like him. The Packers defense... I did not think the Packers defense was that bad this year. From the times that I watched
thought, kind of like the Bucs, they tightened up at the end of the year, and they did play well in the postseason. And honestly, I think if that guy doesn't drop the pick 6, they're probably playing this week.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And that's not really on Joe Barry. Like, he did play well during their he didn't play well, but the defense played well under him during that playoff run and at the end of the regular season. But I just think some of the mistakes that they made and the way they got exposed in the middle of the season, some of that stuff is just inexcusable. Like, it's coaching malpractice when it's happening week in and week out. How many games this year for the Packers did the defense lose them? I mean, I don't know for sure, but if we ask Bubba, you could probably point to a few.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even early on, Jordan Love was losing them some games too.
That's true. He's not off the hook, but they have more reason. They have more reason to keep Jordan Love around long term than Joe Barry.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the Packers really fucked up, and Bubba touched on it quickly the other day. They should not have went away from Aaron Jones in that game against the 49ers.
He was running the ball well.
He was running the ball well against the Cowboys. He got up. He scored, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Like, I don't understand. What was that? I hear noises now the whole time. From Macho's car to Scout whining. I'm feeling like someone's creeping up on me over here. It's the ghost of the BRN. I mean, I don't understand why they got away from that. Why they got away from the run game with the 49ers when it was working, but that's why I'm not an offensive coordinator or head coach or defensive coordinator. So, did you see this? The Titans hired their head coach.
Yeah, they did.
Brian
Callahan, he was the OC over at
the Bengals.
Cincinnati. He was I think he's going to end up being an underrated hire. I don't know how flashy they're going to be next year just because they're losing fucking everybody. Like, Derrick Henry's going to be gone. You don't have much of a receiver room. I still think the jury's out on Will Levis. You're going to hope he can develop, but if he doesn't have many tools, I don't know how good they're going to be. So I don't know how attractive that Tennessee job is going to be, but I've seen a lot of positive stuff about Callahan just as a coach and as an industry or an organization guy. So it's going to be a good hire for them. It still sucks that they lost Rabel, but ultimately I think this may work out.
Two questions here. One, where does Rabel go? And two, let me ask you something. If Rabel, obviously this is a hypothetical scenario. If we could get Rabel right now, would you fire Bowles?
Not after this year, no. Not after the finish the Bucs had. Because if they had finished the year when they were 4-7, if they had just shit the bed down the stretch, absolutely. If they had even, gotten walloped in the wild card round of the playoffs, then I could argue firing Todd Bowles. But since they didn't, and they were a well-coached team down the stretch, I think Bowles earned another shot. And, to some degree, I don't know if it was a talent discrepancy. I don't know if Rabel just lost the locker room or just had a rough year. I know Tannehill got hurt. But
Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry's still Derrick Henry. He was fucking great this year.
I know, but I'm wondering if they're firing of Rabel just because maybe Henry didn't.
I had always heard, and I think I said this a couple weeks ago when it had happened. I had heard, and this was all just hearsay, but it was more of a power struggle between him and the ownership because he wanted them to go hire his boy as the new GM.
Yep.
And they had started that process of hiring his boy. The NFL stepped in and basically said that they need more through process for it, which was really stupid. So whatever, they clean it up, they do what they have to do, and then when the time comes, they end up hiring someone else. And that's why he was upset. Like, he was pissed because they basically told him, all right, we're going to hire your guy. We're going to clean this up. We're going to hire your guy. We're going to go through this process with the NFL to make it happen. And they picked someone else. Yeah, I just heard that too, right? It happened again. Was that you?
No.
That's not someone in here. Macho left.
Who knows, man? It goes to the fucking the Bubba Army.
I think Anna left. Are we the only ones here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably Beetlejuice.
I think we're
Beetlejuice.
It's David Hernandez.
So yes. Don't say
that. What?
I said don't say that.
Why'd you say it like that? Are you scared?
I'm scared.
Bubba, I'm scared.
So where do you think Rabel goes?
I was sold it was Tennessee.
I was, Rabel?
Yeah. But I guess,
he was go back
not
to
Tennessee, New England, I'm sorry.
I thought he was going to go to New England, then I even doubled down that he was going to go to Dallas.
I thought he was going to go to New England. Dallas decides they're keeping McCarthy.
No shit. I was like, Derrick Henry, Rabel going to Tennessee or Dallas.
I think it's one of those things where if something seems too obvious, it probably is.
So, I mean, let's see.
At least with this instance, because I thought it was a done deal that Vrabel was going to be making it happen.
Well, let me ask you: does Belichick make a comeback anywhere, and maybe Vrabel goes and plays there?
He's really
Or plays-
flirting with
plays there.
Atlanta.
Well, so
He's
is
really-
Harbaugh though.
He's really flirting with Atlanta.
And everyone's flirting with Atlanta.
It's not. I would say Atlanta is one of the more desirable spots left because you move on from Ritter, which is what they should do, and whether you draft a QB or you get one in free agency, like that team is a quarterback away from competing for the division every year.
It's going to be scary next year with them.
Yeah, they've got a good young defensive roster, good defensive line. I don't really know much about their linebackers off the top of my head, but you got Jesse Bates, who was one of the better safeties in the NFL this year, first team All-Pro. The offensive side of the ball, Kyle Pitts is he's kind of come around.
Yeah, but he hasn't come around. Like I thought he was going to be the most dominating tight end, at the time. I mean, he's huge. He plays like a wide receiver. He's not a blocking tight end, but he was going to be one of those Travis Kelce, Tony Gonzalez type tight ends.
That rookie year was awful.
Yeah, it was.
a
Jimmy
struggle.
Graham too.
Yeah.
Like a Jimmy Graham type player, and he just didn't do dog shit.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, this is an interesting article when I was typing up Mike Rabel 17 minutes ago on is that Ty Law said that him and Mike Rabel used to drink to keep warm. They used to sip on whiskey to combat the cold during practices and also game days. Mike Rabel used to have the flask, and they would always go over to, obviously, his appearance on the Dan Patrick Show. We didn't have him. So we would all go to Rabel and hit the flask, a little bit of whiskey. I mean,
I see no problem with it.
I don't
know
either.
the league will probably fine him 20 years later.
20 years later
But-
for sipping on whiskey. But I mean, look at Mike Rabel just.
I mean, listen, if you're tuned up and warm, it probably makes some of those fucking hits in the cold
That is
hurt
true.
a lot less too when you're a defensive guy.
No wonder they're 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Was it? How many Super Bowls were it? They made it to 10?
Yes, they played in
10 Super Bowls, or was it more than
9?
That? 9 Super Bowls.
It was 9. Brady played in 10. One of them was with the Bucks.
I mean, listen, when your defense is just drunk on whiskey, not giving a shit. I mean,
Bunch
that's
of fucking killer.
I mean, look,
Bunch of alcoholics
it
out
helped
there.
them. Looks like Jim Harbaugh also could agree on a contract soon with the Chargers. Do you think that's a good move for Jimmy boy?
I guess so. He's one of those college guys who has gone to the NFL before and proven that he can win. Didn't win a Super Bowl, I don't think.
No,
did they?
he lost to his brother. the
Baltimore,
Ravens.
San Fran.
Yep.
Now, I know San Fran had made it pretty far most other seasons he was there.
Yeah, they did. They played well. I mean, he obviously, like you said, he can definitely coach in the NFL. Obviously he's accomplished what he did. I think there's going to be a lot of things coming out of Michigan.
I think for Harbaugh, there's going to be a lot of adjustments. I think the NFL, in a lot of ways, from the players to just the game itself, is a different beast than what it was in 2010, 2011 when he was coaching last. So
I think the Chargers have a lot of good players around it, so he's going into a good situation.
I do too. I think they are a team that coaching has definitely held them back. They have the talent, and every year they've been a disappointment. Every year they come out, and I would expect them to be. The last couple of years have projected them to be competing for that division. Because I didn't think the Raiders were better than them. I certainly didn't think the Broncos were going to be better than them.
No.
And they just kind of suck. I think Herbert's got to get his shit together to a certain degree, because if he sucks next year,
he might be out.
He might be out because he didn't play well this year.
He can go to Miami. I guarantee his stats will look amazing if he goes down there.
Go to Tampa.
But I mean, yeah, I'd take Herbert in Tampa, wouldn't you?
Fuck yeah, I'd take Justin Herbert in Tampa. Are you kidding me?
I think everyone would take Herbert if the Chargers moved on from him.
Yeah, come on.
But it looks like Harbaugh, yeah, like I said, I think there's something with NCAA. And I have a feeling that if Harbaugh leaves, because it says right here in CBS, came out, I guess yesterday, his negotiations with the Chargers, the reason that he started moving on to the NFL is because it was a sticking point for Michigan. So I'm wondering if the NCAA is coming on Michigan and saying, hey, guys, look, if Harbaugh doesn't come back, we'll be a little more lenient on you guys. But if he comes back, maybe they look into it.
Or maybe they're just fucking with his money.
You think? Who, Michigan?
Yeah, because they said it's a sticking point for what? The NCAA deliberations, or it's a sticking point for his contract?
It's a sticking point for his contract.
Yeah, so if they're holding up and Michigan wants to remind him of all these accusations.
Oh, that's true.
If that's fucking with his $100 million contract, like an NFL team doesn't really care.
No, they don't give five shits.
The NFL's not going to suspend him for any period of time or fine him for anything based off of what the NCAA investigation finds out.
Nope.
And the more that people have talked about it, the more that it's come out that, stealing signs is something that everyone fucking does.
Yeah, well, they do it in baseball too, and no one gives a shit about that.
Right.
That was a breaking story on the Lummy
I'm not
Sports
going to
Show.
make it an excuse for Michigan, but it is something that happens, and it is something that everyone does.
I don't want to see it happen. See, I don't like Michigan. I don't really give two shits about Michigan. But once again, it's the same thing that happens all the time at NCAA. And I think it's kind of bullshit. I know, a lot of people probably won't agree with me. Maybe they will. Who knows? But Harbaugh leaves. The NCAA comes and gives a bunch of violations down and, penalizes now the school and the players that are there. Is that technically fair? You know what I mean? If it has to do
with
with
moves on and kind of severs ties.
Yeah, and he still got paid. It's almost like Dennis Erickson, right? When I think he left Miami, and they try to bring the death penalty on Miami. Erickson, nothing happened to him. He moved on. I think he went and coached in the NFL. Most of the coaches left Miami. Nothing happened. The players were stuck there at the time. But even like this, I don't like Michigan. I don't really care for it. I mean, it's an old school Big Ten. Yeah, give respect to that. Maybe the media has killed my opinion on Michigan, but Harbaugh leaves, goes to the NFL, gets a $100 million contract or whatever he gets. Right, all his assistants that might have had anything to do with it. It wasn't players. It wasn't like 27 other players were doing steroids at the time, and they all knew about it, or the players were cheating and doing different things like that, or. It has to do with the coaching staff that now can just get up and leave. Now you can say with all the new deals that all the players can now leave, right? But that just kills your whole program. So you're penalizing now the school and that whole thing if it does come down to that. I mean, don't you think that there should be kind of a little bit of penalty on like a Harbaugh or something like that?
Well, I think the inclusion of the NIL shit also adds another level to it. Like if Michigan... Not saying a direct result of their undefeated national championship season was stealing signs, but let's just say for the sake of the argument, stealing signs helped them win a couple games this year. Probably helped them earn a little bit more money on the back end as well.
Well, are you saying? So, are you trying to say that going to the college playoffs actually helps a school recruit better? Maybe be able to pay some of their players that may jump ship because the school doesn't want to pay $1 million to one player that says he wants $1 million and who's one of the best players.
Crazy concept, but yeah.
Yeah. Is that maybe why maybe some schools got really mad that they didn't make the playoffs this year, even though technically they probably should have deserved it because they didn't technically cheat? That Michigan, maybe just made a sweetheart deal so they could win a national championship. I don't see that being fair, Rhett.
Yeah, but
that extra money helps schools.
Unfortunately for that one bitch ass school, they had a weak schedule and didn't win as many tough games as Michigan did.
And what do you call a tough game? Northwestern?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Rutgers. I mean, come on.
Do you have the Michigan schedule? I actually don't remember who they beat this year.
Yeah, listen. The problem is, and this is another thing that I hate. And now we're down the fucking NCAA college football thing. But hold on.
Yeah, because now I can tell you're getting mad.
Well,
so
now I'm starting to say I hate preseason rankings. Okay. Because it makes the schools look way fucking better than they are.
After week one, they're never correct. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Like what?
Why can't
Colorado beat TCU week one? TCU was top 10, were they not?
Yeah. No, TCU was like 5.
Yeah.
And then the reason they jumped back in, the TCU had a losing record, I think. Let me look real quick. Hold on. Where's TCU? They went 3-6 in the conference, 5-7. TCU is ranked twice this year because they jumped back in.
After what, winning week 2?
Yeah, they jumped back into or they didn't fall out.
That sucks if they don't show.
There we go.
You got to go like hunt for the previous year's
right,
schedule. That's annoying.
Hold on. So they won 3 in a row. They jumped back into the top 25. They lost to Colorado, Nicholls State, Division I AA. They're a powerhouse, but they beat them 41-6. They beat Houston, beat SMU. They jump back in like the top 15 because you know why? Because they were preseason ranked top 5, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck they were ranked at the time. Then they got their ass handed to by West Virginia, Iowa State. Then they fall out. Well, if you look at it, SMU is like, well, we beat a top 25 team, right? But they finished the season with a losing record, but everyone looks at their stupid. They go to fucking Michigan now.
Yeah, I just want to see Michigan's schedule. Because
just like the Pac-12, Rhett, remember we were talking about it? Is that, like 17 fucking teams in the Pac-12 were all ranked at one point. I mean...
This was a good last hurrah for the Pac-12. I don't think they could have.
Big 10. Big 12. Where are they
right
calling
there,
it?
right there.
All right, let's look at this. This barn burner of it. ESPN makes you jump through this fucking thing.
I know.
And now this whole season's gonna be fucked up because of the whole 27 teams in a conference now.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, Eastern Carolina. Wow, that's a barn burner. 30-3. UNLV. Bowling Green. Oh man, I'm my dick's hard. How hard this schedule is. Rutgers. Okay, Nebraska. Once again, I mean Nebraska is up in whatever. Minnesota, Indiana. Okay.
I mean
Michigan State. Horrible this year.
The only teams they did not beat the dog shit out of this year were number 10 Penn State, Maryland, surprisingly, and Ohio State. I mean, every other game they won by at least 25 to 30 points. So I'm not saying that matters, but also just to kind of go back to the initial Florida State argument, I don't make the rules.
I didn't say Florida State. I
know you didn't, but you're talking about a certain university who may have gone undefeated, who may be pissed off because they missed out on the boat by not making the playoffs. Unfortunately, I don't make the rules. Unfortunately, the playoff committee makes the rules. And unfortunately, they have made it clear in the rules time and time and time again in the 10-year history of the college football playoff that player availability is going to be a factor into how they determine these games. So, unfortunately, dims the rules, and, it's not my fault. I just think it's funny. Like,
it's a real fucking laugh fest.
It is. I like seeing FSU fans upset.
Yeah, well, Florida's gonna have a fucking hell of a year this year. Okay,
they need that recruiting class to kick in, or old Billy's gonna be fucking leaving.
Recruiting class. I feel like your recruiting class is like when your old coach was here.
Right. That's what they said every year. Oh, we just need that recruiting class. But I think this 2024 class, it's the biggest batch of Billy's guys yet.
Yeah.
So if this roster cannot perform, you have an offense where the quarterback has proven he can perform and not turn the ball over. You did lose a couple of pieces. You lost your number 1 wide receiver. But I just think if they're a 6-7, if they're an 8-win team this year, I still think he's gone.
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
I think UCF's kind of a better record than they are, and so is USF.
I would love to see USF. I would love to see USF win the AAC this year. I think they can.
Yeah,
I really do think they can.
Got a really good
ball coach.
Let's clip that. Send it to our buddy. We got a meeting next week. I figured you want to come and video some stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Let's pick our Gansey out of here because now I'm upset about it. We literally got down fucking college football that hasn't been playing in a month and a half. Baltimore, Kansas City. Kansas City at Baltimore. Fuck, I hate how they set this.
Kansas City plus 3.5.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Give me Kansas City all day. We didn't get a call from our boy.
No.
So,
and neither did the tennis pro. Didn't call in.
Yeah, so I don't have any incentive to want to believe in Baltimore this week.
Me neither.
So I'm gonna take Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You know what?
They're gonna do it again. 6th straight AFC Championship game?
Yeah, upset special right here coming. Kansas City wins. Fuck Baltimore. Fuck Baltimore.
Oh, shit.
Go home. All right. Go cry. Wait for your fucking Orioles to come back. Detroit at
Rock City.
San Francisco, 7-point spread. Yeah, and I'm taking the Chiefs under 3.5 too. So, blow me.
What do you think for the spread?
The
Does
7?
Does 7 seem like a lot for this kind of game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd jump on that line 7 in a heartbeat, and that over and under at 51. I love that over. I don't think this is gonna be a defensive battle. I think there's gonna be a lot of points scored.
I don't know. I don't know about 51. That seems a little rich, but I do like Lions plus 7. So,
Who you picking straight up?
fuck, man. Give me the Lions. It feels like it's their year. It feels like they need it. Feels like this is the closest they're going to get for a little while. Not to say that they're going to suck, but I think the playoffs are going to get the best of them. So I would like the Lions to win. I will take the Lions.
You know, I hate picking with you at all times, but you know what? And you know what? Maybe this is just you and I are going off our gut feelings because obviously the smart bet, if we want to look good here, is going to be just taking the Baltimore Ravens, the 49ers, which every Tom, Dick, and Harry fucking pick.
Sure, yeah, because the fucking colors and the logos.
Yeah, and the fucking Vancouver Island fucking news reported on it. I mean, come on. We got to follow the script here. But you know what? You know what? You know what, Coach? I'm going Lions.
So what's the... yeah, man. All I think about is you guys. All I think about at the end of the day is putting you in a position to win.
That's right, man. Coach Campbell's going to have them fucking...
guys.
Coach Dan's going to have them pumped up.
Do you know what the fuck you just did out there, man? That's a tough team to beat.
He'd go to war with them.
I can't quite dial it in this week.
I know, I can tell. It's all right. Yeah. You don't have coach today.
No, I don't. I'm still upset. I'm still a little sour grapes about the Bucks. But the last time the Bucks got bounced in the postseason, well, was the fucking Cowboys. But the time before that, that team went on to win the Super Bowl. So there's no shame in losing to the Super Bowl champions in the postseason. So I do want the Lions to win it all. I'm still a little upset that it happened the way that it did.
Sure, I'm sure I am too. You know what? Shut that game. I hit the wrong button. That one was already potted up.
Uh-oh.
Rhett, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lummy. By the way, I'm just taking a look at that screen right there. The fucking Lions plus 800 to win the Super Bowl. So
I have a little sticky note that's blocking that part.
Yeah, plus 800.
Oh, wow.
I mean, listen, if you got to throw away $5, $10, it's not a bad way to do it.
No shit. Yeah, and certain gambling sites give you a free bet.
There you go. No regret $10 bet. Detroit Lions plus 800. If you lose, you get your $10 back. If you win, it's what, like $81?
Yeah, I forgot to even fucking bring up that story. I got into a huge help chat argument with Hard Rock.
Why? Because they fucked you out of your no regret?
That's a long story.
You want to tell it? You want to tell it next week?
Yeah.
All right. I'll remind you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Big E, Grouper Lips, everybody, for tuning in today. We will be back here next Wednesday, but the Bubba the Love Sponge Show is back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And, I got a text here from Bubba. Tomorrow morning, Thursday show, 8:15 a.m., Roger Stone will be on. Bubba's good friend, Roger Stone, will be on 8:15 tomorrow morning on obviously YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, or Bubba Army HQ, or however you listen. And thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to get your backpacks. I was talking to Merch Crick. They're going quick. They're not going to be around. And they're one hell of a backpack. So go to Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Store, or BubbaArmyMerch.com. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. The Bubba Love Sponge Show. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.